Hi, my name's Austin Blau, and welcome to Following Me Composing. I'll come up with something. As composers, we don't really normally get to show what we're working on in the middle of it or the beginning. So I thought with this new video game I'm composing for, which right now we're just calling it, I think Rodent Retribution is like the title for now. Normally game developers will be able to do devlogs. We thought that maybe it'd be a cool idea if I did audio logs. You don't really see that for composers. We're normally coming in at the end of the process with the game. I don't normally get to talk about what I'm working on in the middle of it and actually show the process. This is literally the first thing I've written. Today is the first day I sat down to start trying something. I haven't even done any research yet into how I want to do it, but I thought it'd be a cool idea to maybe start documenting it. This is what I like from what I've written so far, so let's see what it sounds like. I'll put the gameplay into it. So I don't really know if I really like this, which is just a guitar strumming and like some EQ and stuff, just to maybe keep the rhythm driving right now, but I don't know if I like that in that last section. Realistically, this came from me writing some other stuff on the guitar, and it started with this, which I don't really like. I'm going to try to be more honest in this. Usually as composers, we'll just only show the best stuff we do. Like, here's the thing, here's the end. Oh yeah, it was easy. Realistically, that's not the process. We're normally writing something, throwing a ton of stuff out, or saving it for later. And I think I'm confident enough to what I write that I don't like isn't the worst thing of all time, but it's not going to be the representation I'm used to showing. But I think that might be cool. I don't think that's very good. So I think there's another riff here too. It's more like Rage Against the Machine, which is cool, but doesn't really fit the vibe. And this was something else. That was an offshoot of this, which is pretty simple. And even this, I don't know if I'll even keep that, in all honesty. This is just a cool riff. I thought it was cool. Shake the cobwebs off. I don't even know if I'm going to use guitar. We're that early in the process where I haven't even got the brief yet. So normally I like to have a brief in the beginning where I'll ask for what's the story? What's the theme? What are all the enemy types? Are there enemies? Is it not that kind of game? If it's more like this is an FPS game, are there, what's the setting? What's the feel? What's the vibe? What's the inspiration? Is there any way you want it to sound? Is there any ideas? Like, we can talk about so many concepts. And so a lot of times I'll just do this as a way to shake something off. It's a Doom kind of game. It has like that Doom style, quick running around FPS kind of game. So it's just the first thing that came to mind. I'm just trying to get the right tempo. Like when you play the video, you get a rhythm. You can kind of see walking pace has a certain kind of rhythm to it. Because if you did it a little slower, it could work, but then when you see you're moving around hitting that enemy and that enemy, it just doesn't work as well. So getting a feel for the speed really helps. And so, I mean, you can even see it's more supposed to be like GameCube, PS2 graphics in a way. So do I want to go towards that kind of style? Do I want to blend something in? I don't know yet. We're that early, and it's really cool because I don't really know a lot of other instances where you get to see this. Sometimes composers will be able to show it after the fact if the studio allows you to see the footage, but this is a smaller indie game with a friend of mine, and he's just like, go ahead, let's just show it and see how it feels and hopefully walk through the process. So what I'm probably going to do next, in all honesty, is I'm going to research. What I know of the game so far is it was an idea that was just fun that I think he did for like a little competition or something. And so it was just a funny idea of just like a cat that is, I don't know if it's an assassin or something that's in a sewer system. You're basically fighting different rodents, hence the name, different rats. There's a rat in there that has ectoplasm or something on it. There's like all these different enemy types, and there's supposed to be cutscene ideas that we're talking about. So you're supposed to be like a badass cat that has like all these different weapons and stuff, and it's funny. They kept the design of the basic cat hands because it was funnier, which you can see. Whereas everything else looks a little bit nicer. They just kept that because it was really funny. So it has an air to it being funny, but it's also really well done so far, where it's really smooth, it runs really well. A lot of what I'm going to choose is based off of me doing some research. Is there something audio-wise about, obviously a sewer system has a reverberation to it, it has a sound. Maybe that means I use more metallic sounds. There are some enemies that might be a little bit more synthetic. Maybe I use some synthetic sounds too. Maybe it just becomes industrial. I don't really know yet. And so that's going to be the next process on it, the next step. Maybe I'll film it. I don't know. Because I'm this early in the process and we have about a year, as the idea is maybe trying to release by the end of next year. We don't really know yet. It's very, very up in the air. There's only one level that's sort of done, but they're ironing out all the kinks of everything. It gives me a lot of time to do some research, experiment, which hopefully I can show, trying different things out, try some electronic stuff. I'll try and mess around with weird sounds, maybe try some like reverbs that are based off of pipes, which are really cool because that has more of a metallic sound to it. Maybe it's overboard and you just need some good heavy music. I don't know yet. So I think generally the feeling is it's kind of funny, the game, but it's well done and feels good, and you kind of also want to feel badass. So I guess the feeling that I get so far is you laugh at how funny it is, and then you're really into it. That's how it feels to me. I was like, oh, this is hysterical, and then I was like, this is kind of awesome. Okay, this is badass. And so I think that's the feeling that we're going for. And so the music should reflect that, and maybe I only take the badass sentiment for the music, or maybe I don't do that and I decide to err on the side of humor, and maybe I can do that and help out. Maybe it's too overboard and it's not funny that way, and that's where you have to balance humor, and it's really exciting. So that's really it. If anyone wants to see something specific, let me know. I'll be working on this and trying to put more videos out around this. I'm working on this. I'm also working on another game, and I'm working on my own project, which is like a D&D music project, which I can get into at another point. Let me know, and hopefully I can enlighten and show more than you normally get to see. This was super basic and just me talking, so if you sat through the whole thing, thanks. Hi. Yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I'm gonna get back to this, and yeah, thanks for sticking around. Later.